Everybody to our second IIMC Vice Presidential Candidate Forum. I'm Susan Haag, the chair of the election committee. The committee and I are excited to have you join us again and that all four candidates are with us again today. Just by way of reminder, I'll introduce each of them. We have Julie Barnett, City Clerk from Evans, Colorado, Elena Hilby, City Clerk from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, Angela Johnson, Clerk Treasurer from Meeteetse, Wyoming, and Linda Larder, Chief Executive, Town Clerk from Seven Oaks Town Council in the United Kingdom. Welcome, everybody. Before we start, I'd like to just remind everyone again of the forum rules. Each candidate was provided with the rules and questions in advance to allow them time to prepare and to remain within the allotted time allowed for each question. Personal attacks or derogatory comments are not allowed. This is a forum and not a debate, so time is not allowed for rebuttals. There will not be time for questions from the audience, and the questions that we're giving today, as the last time, were developed by the Elections Committee. The order of speakers will be alphabetical and will rotate with each question. Today we're going to start with a rotation from where we left off from our first forum. I'll be the official timekeeper, and I'm using a timer on my cell phone. It will sound, and I will announce when time is up in case it cannot be heard. The forum is being recorded and will be available for members to watch via the IIMC website. I will call on each candidate when it's their turn to speak, and we ask that for each question they state their name, their title, and their municipality, after which I will start the timer. There are 10 sections with individual questions in each section. The first forum dealt with the first 5 sections, and today's forum will deal with the last 5 sections. You may access the first forum from IIMC's website. With that, we're ready to begin. And we are on section 6 of the questions, which deals with technology and innovation. Each candidate has 1 minute to answer the following. What steps would you take to ensure that IIMC members are staying ahead of the technological advancement in their roles? We'll start off this time with Angela.
Hey there, Angela Johnson, Clerk Treasurer for the town of Meeteetse. So technology should support membership, not overwhelm them. And I think that that is something that I've been dealing with myself on a personal level here in the last year. Some of the technology changes that I've implemented for myself was digital time clock integration with our accounting software, the agenda and minutes management, with a new website and putting that all together, a digital portfolio for our youth because of our youth work program, and digital archiving. And so for the clerks out there, I think that we need to know what the needs are for the clerks and the members and navigate that and ensure that we provide the training that they need. If it has to do with records management systems, elections, cybersecurity, just understanding technology platforms and the AI, of course, building and ensuring that we have set policies.
Thank you, Angela. That minute went fast, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
We'll move on next to Linda.
Linda Larter, clerk in England. Clerks today are operating in a very different environment than even a few years ago. Expectations from residents are rising, compliance and government's demands continue to grow, and resources are often stretched. Simply working harder isn't enough anymore. We need to work differently. That means embracing a shift in mindset alongside the thoughtful use of technology, ensuring clerks have the training, confidence, and support to use new tools, including AI, in ways that strengthen governance, improve efficiency, and ultimately serve our communities better. In my view, IIMC should be leading the way in expanding practical training on emerging technologies like AI, automation, digital records, and cybersecurity, and mix formal certification pathways with informal learning so we can learn from each other, whether that be peer sessions, short webinars, or case studies, and focus on confidence building, not just technical knowledge.
Thank you. We're gonna move on next to Julie.
Julie Barnett, City Clerk, City of Evans, Colorado. Technology continues to transform the way clerks serve their communities. IIMC can help members stay ahead by offering premier education on emerging tools, creating forums to share best practices, and encouraging conversations about innovation in records management and public engagement. Emerging technology is transforming municipal clerks from traditional record keepers into strategic, tech-savvy, and data-driven administrative leaders. Key impacts of technology on clerks' role include automation of routine tasks, enhanced meeting management, improved public transparency and engagement, digital records and workflows, and proactive communication with the public. As your IIMC president, I will support learning opportunities for clerks to gain the skills they need to embrace this technology. I will empower our members to be the best they can be for their organization. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to let my timer run out here for a quick minute. There we go. Okay. And we're going to end this section with Elena.
Thank you. Elena Hilby, City Clerk for the City of Sun Prairie in Wisconsin. And technology is evolving quickly. And I think our responsibility is to focus on readiness and not really chasing trends. Clerks work in different environments with different systems, resources, and levels of support. So staying ahead doesn't mean adopting the newest tool first. I think it means understanding how technology can support our accuracy, efficiency, and public trust. IIMC can support members by creating opportunities for clerks to learn from one another about what's working, what challenges they're facing, and how they've implemented technology responsibly. That kind of peer learning combined with practical education helps clerks to make informed decisions. As Vice President, my role would be to support thoughtful conversations and around technology, encourage shared learning, and help to ensure members feel prepared and confident as systems and tools continue to evolve.
Thank you, ladies. That ends section 6 for technology and innovation. We'll move on to section 7, which is budget and sustainability. Each candidate has 2 minutes to answer the following 2 questions. How would you work to ensure the financial health and sustainability of IIMC? What plans do you have for increasing IIMC's revenue streams while maintaining membership fees? We're going to start this section with Linda. And if you just want to just give me 2 minutes to work my timer here, because there we go. There we go. I'm having issues with this today for some reason. I apologize. Linda, we'll start off with you with the 2-minute mark.
Thank you. Linda Larter, Clark, England. With the current Executive Director, IIMC is in a sound position with finances. I would hope that the Vice President and board members would be mindful of this and supportive at the same time, having the confidence to ask key governance questions. It is, of course, important not to be complacent and to look at all possibilities to reduce outgoings where possible and generate additional income via investments, membership activities and sponsors whilst maintaining high-level service. Continue to advocate the importance of being part of IIMC. It will ensure to keep a healthy membership income. Encouraging the opportunities for virtual education experiences, which is more economical, whilst not forgetting the added value by meeting up in person. Seeking partnerships with other organisations to secure additional income. I have extensive experience of managing multi-million-pound budgets, project managing multi-million-pound construction projects, currently in the middle of one now. Also extensive experience of obtaining external funding. In the last year, this has been over £2 million for my council. I would like the opportunity to use all these skills to support IIMC in its financial sustainability.
Thank you, Linda. And we'll move on next to Julie.
Thank you, Sue. Julie Barnett, City Clerk, City of Evans, Colorado. Ensuring the financial health of IIMC requires careful stewardship, thoughtful planning, and a focus on long-term sustainability. I support responsible budgeting, regular evaluation of programs, and continued transparency so members feel confident in how resources are managed. IIMC has continually demonstrated strong financial health. This has been achieved by careful planning and investments. A major ongoing sustainability effort has been the expansion of the online professional development program. This initiative addresses sustainability by providing more accessible, lower-cost training options for our members. As your IIMC Vice President, I will continue to deliver these online courses to the members as a value-added benefit of membership. As your IIMC Vice President, I will also continue to work with the Board of Directors in looking at ways to reduce costs for the annual conference to keep it affordable for our members, as continued training and lifelong learning is vital to our profession. To increase revenue while maintaining membership value, I would explore expanding educational offerings, strengthening partnerships, and identifying opportunities that support the organization's mission without placing additional financial burden on our members. A balanced approach helps ensure IIMC remains strong, stable, and able to serve future generations of clerks. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And we'll move on next to Elena.
Alana Hilby, City Clerk for the City of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. And I like the word that Julie used. Stewardship is really the word that comes to mind when I think about IIMC's financial health. It matters because it directly affects the organization's ability to serve its members over the long term. Ensuring sustainability starts with thoughtful governance, transparency, and long-range planning. That means asking good questions, understanding how resources are being used, and making decisions that balance today's needs with future stability. It also means being mindful that membership fees need to remain accessible, especially for clerks in smaller offices or with limited resources. When we look at revenue, I don't think growth for the sake of growth is the goal. Revenue opportunities should align with IIMC's mission and clearly add value for members, whether that's through education, professional development, or shared resources. Any new revenue stream should strengthen the organization without creating barriers to participation. As Vice President, I see my role as supporting sound financial decision-making by focusing on the transparency, sustainability, and ensuring that financial choices reflect the best interests of the membership and the long-term health of IIMC.
Thank you, Elena. Excuse me. We're going to move on and finish this section up with Angela.
Hello, Angela Johnson, Clerk Treasurer for the town of Meeteetse in Wyoming. So the financial health of IIMC must reflect the same principles that we apply to our own municipalities: transparency, long-term planning, and responsible stewardship. And that's a common thread that we are all saying. Throughout my career, I've managed municipal budgets, the fire district budget, the Wyoming Government Investment Fund, I'm a board member, and our hospital district budget, which have many different factors, and it has really helped me broaden my understanding of budgets. And I've learned that protecting today while planning for tomorrow is definitely essential. Membership deserves clear reporting and sustainable decision-making. We must ensure reserves are strong, which they are right now. Programs are mission-driven and spending reflects strategic priorities. Most importantly, we need to ensure that our members have the opportunities and understanding of what our financial integrity is of our organization, and that will increase confidence. Strong financial leadership protects membership value and ensures IIMC remains stable for the future generations of our clerks and members. Thank you.
Thank you. That ends and finishes up section 7. We'll move on to section number 8, which is membership engagement. Each candidate has 2 minutes to answer the following. What are your strategies for attracting new members to IIMC, especially those who may not yet see the value of joining? And how would you foster a greater sense of community and interaction among members in different regions? We're going to start this section off with Julie.
Thank you, Julie Barnett, City Clerk, City of Evans. Attracting new members starts with clearly demonstrating the value of IIMC. Sharing success stories, highlighting professional growth opportunities, and strengthening outreach to new and prospective clerks can help individuals see the benefits of joining and becoming involved. To foster stronger connections across regions, I would encourage more opportunities for collaboration, networking, and shared learning, whether through mentorship, virtual engagement, or regional initiatives. Creating spaces for interaction helps members feel connected and part of a supportive professional community. Together, we can continue to grow IIMC in a direction that provides equitable partnerships with existing and potential affiliations. I will always listen to you, the members, on what you want from the organization to make IIMC the leading education provider of choice among clerks. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And we're going to move next to Elena.
Elena Hilby, City Clerk for the City of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. For me, membership engagement starts with value and connection. Clerks are busy, and when someone's deciding whether to join or stay involved with an organization, they're really asking whether it will support them in their work and help them feel less alone in their role. Attracting new members, especially those who may not yet see the value of IIMC, comes down to making the benefits clear and relatable. When clerks see practical education, peer support, and opportunities to connect with others who understand their responsibilities, the value becomes easier to see. Often it's the human connection that makes the biggest difference. Building a sense of community across regions takes intentional effort. Clerks may work under different laws and systems, but many of the challenges and responsibilities feel very similar. Creating opportunities for clerks to interact, share experiences, and learn from one another helps to build trust and strengthens the organization as a whole. As Vice President, my role would be to support that engagement by encouraging meaningful connection, clear communication, and opportunities for clerks to feel welcomed, valued, and part of a broader professional community.
Thank you, Elena. We're going to move next to Angela.
Angela Johnson, Clerk Treasurer for the town of Meeteetse in Wyoming. Attracting new members. I think of this often, and I know that it's about building those relationships. Relationships are what matter, and encouraging new members and ensuring that they understand the value, education, and the pathways, the mentorship, the professional communities, and all the powerful incentives that IIMC has. I think that, we could expand our PR strategy to promote all the great things that IIMC does throughout the year. The Futures Committee has been working on trying to figure out competency frameworks, the gap analysis on the educational offerings and projected needs, possibly expanding educational opportunities, and providing what the members want and understanding generational engagement patterns. Across the regions, we must strengthen the networking, our virtual education, ongoing collaboration opportunities. And one thing that I think that would be encouraging for all members is to start now, start joining committees and providing your feedback. That's what we need to know. The only way that we can grow IIMC and build that relationship is to encourage the members to be part of the committees and provide the feedback. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to end this section with Linda.
Thank you. Linda Larter, Clark, England. Well, we've all said very similar that the key is demonstrating the value of IIMC and how it can make a clerk's life easier. That's why people want to join. That's why we need to encourage people to join. For me, I think the mentoring program is one of the key ways of doing this. When a new clerk arrives, they're often very overwhelmed. Having somebody to mentor them, and to say, what helps me is being a member of IIMC is the starting point. And I would promote a review of this and ensure that it has a much higher profile. Perhaps even offering a lot more taster provision for non-members, so people come along, find out what it's worth, and then join. With the exception of annual conference, it is difficult for regions to interact in person, especially if you're as far away as I am. Perhaps some more virtual offering could assist with this. We did do some a couple of years ago with more topic-based virtual webinars, which can cross the regions, same topics, whether that's AI or civility and respect. Those can bring people together. The Clerks Without Borders project is aiming to connect clerks from different regions, and this could have a ripple effect. We also trialled last year the first International Athenaeum Dialogue. I thought it was a great success, and I hope there'll be more of those to encourage these interactions between our regions.
Thank you. That ends section 8. So we'll move on to section 9, which is on ethics and integrity. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer the following. How would you uphold and promote the ethical standards and integrity of municipal clerks within IIMC? In what ways would you promote transparency and accountability within IIMC's leadership? This section, we're going to start off with Elena.
Elena Hilby, City Clerk for the City of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. For me, ethics and integrity start with protecting trust. Strong organizations work best when members feel informed, heard, and confident that decisions are being made thoughtfully and in good faith. Upholding ethical standards within IIMC isn't just about policies or rules. It's about how leadership shows up. It means doing what you say you're going to do, communicating clearly, and making sure that actions align with words. When leaders model that behavior consistently, it sets the tone for the organization. That's especially important in a profession like ours. Clerks are trusted public servants, and much of our work depends on credibility and confidence. When members trust their professional organization, it reinforces the standards that we carry into our own offices and communities. Transparency and accountability are closely tied to that trust. Members don't need to agree with every decision, but they do need to understand how decisions are made and why. Clear communication, respect for the process, and openness about the work the board does all help to reinforce confidence in leadership. So as vice president, my role would be to model ethical leadership by acting in service to the organization and its members, listening carefully, and making decisions that reflect integrity, transparency, and respect for the profession.
Thank you, Elena. We're going to move on now to Angela.
Angela Johnson, Clerk Treasurer for the Town of Meeteetse in Wyoming. Ethics and integrity must guide every decision, and it has guided every decision as my position. I know that has been something that throughout time there's been situations where you're put into controversial communication, and you just have to follow the ethics and integrity that you were taught and you follow. And when you do that, trust is what the currency is, the value. Knowing that every decision is made and guided by ethics and integrity. That allows the membership to see the fairness, the transparency, and the accountability of the decisions and through the leadership of IIMC. Transparency has built the trust also in the membership, the clear communication, open financial reporting, accessible board decisions, and consistent updates ensure members understand how and why decisions are being made. Accountability is not reactive, but it's proactive. And when you live transparency and accountability, it's seen throughout every decision that's made, and it increases the membership value and trust within the organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. We're going to move on next to Linda.
Thank you. Linda Larter, Clark, England. Obviously, we all saying ethical standards and integrity are one of the most important roles for the Vice President and those involved in IIMC governance. I can say it doesn't often make you popular, but it needs to be done. It can be difficult when social media is creating dramas around us, and often they're not real, but we need to carry on with prompt, clear and transparent information, and that should always be the first point in my view. I think also civility and respect, of which I am an ambassador for in England, for each other is crucial, whether that is relating to diversity, inclusion, or respecting others' cultures and what is important to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. And we're going to end up this section with Julie.
Thank you. Julie Barnett, City Clerk, City of Evans. Ethics and integrity are the foundation of the clerk profession. I would support ongoing education, open dialogue, and leadership by example to ensure these values remain central to everything we do. Promoting ethical standards helps reinforce public trust and strengthens our professional identity. Transparency and accountability within leadership are equally important. I believe in clear communication, listening to member feedback, and ensuring decisions are made with openness and fairness. When members feel informed and included, it builds confidence in the organization and its direction. As your IIMC Vice President, I will lead with intention and integrity by prioritizing long-term sustainability, fostering trust through transparency, and empowering members while remaining consistent, authentic, and ethical in every decision that is made by the board. Thank you.
Thank you. That ended section 9, and we're going to move on to our last section before the closing statements, which is section 10, the future of IIMC. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer the following. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing municipal clerks today, and how would you address them as Vice President? What role do you think IIMC should play in advocating for changes in government policy or procedures? And we're going to start off this section with Angela.
Hi, this is Angie Johnson, Clerk Treasurer for the town of Meeteetse in Wyoming. Clerks face increasing complexity, staffing shortages, public scrutiny, and rapidly changing regulations. Expectations continue to rise while resources often do not. Succession planning is also a challenge that I face myself, and I really worry about the succession of our profession. So that's something that I think that we really do need to focus on, because who will be the next clerks and how are we going to attract them? Who's going to do our job? We want to ensure that everything's taken care of and we're doing the best that we can for our membership. To ensure this, we need to ensure that we have strong education, advocacy, and peer support. So IIMC's role in advocacy should be nonpartisan, but you also have to consider what's happening in the world at the time and what scrutiny the clerks are under at the point in time when we're advocating. Right now, is it the clerk safety? Do we need to ensure that we're safe and we feel safe in our position? Because no matter what, it doesn't matter if you're a small population or a large population, you are under the public eye, and we want to ensure that we're safe. Advocacy should be thoughtful, fact-based, and rooted in professional expertise. By evaluating the lived experiences of clerks, IIMC strengthens credibility and ensures policy makers understanding the operational realities members face. It's difficult, but we need to ensure that we're advocating for the right purposes. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. We're going to move on now to Linda.
Thank you. Linda Larter, Clark, England. As we mentioned before, the biggest challenges are the changing working environment. Feels like every day we have to learn a new skill, normally linked to technology. Rising demands and expectations from society are always being a problem, and this is the same worldwide wherever we are. Reminding clerks that IIMC and their colleagues are there for them to provide support for addressing this. We are more aware that it's simply not the only goal to have a well-trained clerk. Their well-being is now more important than ever, and we need to ensure that they have the resilience to keep going and deliver to their communities. We need to look after the clerk as a whole, not just their training needs. It can be difficult for clerks to be involved in advocating change in government policy or procedures. I think the best route for IIMC is to demonstrate that it is the professional body and provides practical, professional and reliable evidence in relation to that policy or procedure so that it can be considered carefully. And this could be done by surveys and or case studies collecting from the membership. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. We're going to move on now to Julie.
Julie Barnett, City Clerk, City of Evans. Municipal clerks face growing demands, evolving technology, and increasing expectations from the public. One of the biggest challenges is balancing these responsibilities while maintaining high levels of service and professionalism. As your next IIMC Vice President, I will focus on strengthening support systems, providing relevant education, and ensuring clerks have the tools they need to succeed. IIMC plays an important role in advocating for policies and practices that recognize the value of clerks and support effective governance. By serving as a strong professional voice, sharing knowledge, and promoting best practices, we can help shape a future where clerks continue to lead, adapt, and make meaningful contributions to their communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And we're going to end up this section here with Elena.
Thank you. Elena Hilby, City Clerk for the City of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. The future of IIMC depends on our ability to evolve without losing our purpose. Clerks' work is changing. Technology is changing. Communities are changing. But the need for connection, education, and professional support remains constant. I believe IIMC's future lies in being responsive and adaptable while maintaining strong governance and clear values. That means listening closely to the members, being thoughtful about change, and making sure the organization grows in ways that are both sustainable and inclusive. Not every change needs to be fast, but it should be intentional. I also see IIMC's continuing to strengthen its role as a professional home for clerks at every stage of their career. That includes expanding access to education, encouraging clerk-to-clerk connection, and creating pathways for engagement and leadership that reflect the diversity of our membership. As Vice President, my role would be to support that evolution by listening first, helping to connect people and ideas across the organization, and supporting leadership decisions that both serve the immediate needs of the members and the long-term health of IIMC.
Thank you. That ends our 10 sections that we had set up originally, and we're ready for closing statements. This went kind of fast today. So each candidate has 3 minutes for their closing statement. We're going to start these off with Linda.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to give a closing statement and to talk to the members of IIMC. I'm naturally someone who prefers to focus on getting the work done rather than the spotlight. I'm an introvert by nature, which is probably why I chose the profession of clerk, happy to get the job done and on to the next, and leave the photos, press and pat on the back to councillors. I'm not trying to be a politician with catchy slogans, anagrams and buzzwords. I have, however, learned that demonstrating what we can achieve individually is important for us to achieve progress together professionally. I have a simple message. I love being with clerks, interacting and learning from you all, and working hard to improve all our working lives, whether that be working with the IIMC board or on projects such as the Clerks Without Borders. And I would like to continue this by being Vice President. I am fortunate to stand alongside exceptional colleagues. They are all fantastic, dedicated clerks who I have a lot of respect for. Not who I would have chosen to be up against. You should have let me know beforehand. If I wasn't involved in this, I wouldn't know which one of you to vote for. To be fair, they are a reflection of the IIMC board, dedicated clerks who voluntarily give their time away from their busy working lives and families to help make IIMC continuously improve for the benefits of its members. We have 2 really good presidents with Lisa and Dawn, and I'm sure Lee and Janice will be brilliant too. The board members work and play hard and created bonds which I hope will last a lifetime. Yes, there have been challenges, and sometimes these cannot be talked about publicly. I'm sure as clerks you've have been in similar situations in your daily working life. But it is a very strong board, and despite some of the dramas you may have read on social media, in my experience, we have worked well together. Of course, this is supported by a strong and dedicated IIMC team of staff. IIMC stands for International Institute of Municipal Clerks. This is the 80th anniversary of IIMC. For me, what a wonderful way to celebrate the international element by having an international vice president. I believe this can only enhance international relations and the improvement of learning more about each other and respect for our cultures and the enormous amount we have in common and sharing our different solutions to these. I believe my international perspective can help broaden collaboration, share solutions, bring fresh insights, and be more representative of the global membership. I'm very grateful to Region 11 Board, who've been so generous in encouraging me to stand for Vice President, especially as none of us expected me to be in this position. I feel very humbled by their support. I'm sorry that the election rules has made it not possible for me to reach out to fellow clerks in my region during this campaign period, but I hope they understand. In May, I finished my role as IIMC board member. I know some of you think I talk a bit different, and I am a bit different, but with your vote for me as Vice President, together we can continue building an IIMC that reflects our shared values, our individual cultures, and strengthen our profession and support clerks around the world. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you also to Susan and Karen for the virtual hand-holding.
Thank you, Linda. We're going to move on next to Julie.
Thank you, Susan. Julie Barnett, City Clerk with the City of Evans. As your IIMC Vice President, I will lead with intention and continue to build our relationships with our international partners, promote innovative ideas, and ensure that education remains relevant to our roles as municipal clerks. I will work toward building relationships with the next generation of clerks to ensure that they have the knowledge and skills they need in our profession and encourage them to embrace technology as it rapidly evolves. I will look for additional opportunities with affiliate organizations that align with IIMC's mission and values to provide enhanced partnerships that are beneficial to both organizations. I look forward to working with the Futures Group to evaluate our long-term organizational sustainability, as well as the Ideal Committee in fostering a culture that recognizes the unique backgrounds and perspectives of all members of IIMC. All of our committees are comprised of dedicated members that work hard to enhance your experience as a member, and I am thankful for all of them. Finally, I want to hear from you, the members of IIMC, on what you feel is working within our organization and what can be improved upon. I will be open to hearing your ideas of what membership means to you. It is my goal to continue to give back to the organization that has given me the knowledge to be the best that I can be, and I ask for your support in my nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And we're going to go next to Elena.
My name is Elena Hilby, and I serve as the city clerk for the city of Sun Prairie in Wisconsin. And as we move into these closing statements, I'd like to share one final thought with you. I've spent some time in the last couple weeks here thinking about what I wanted to say in this closing statement. I didn't want it to simply be a recap of points that I've already made. I wanted it to be a genuine message from me to the membership. Over the course of my career, I've carried one simple belief with me, and that's that the way clerks show up shapes how people experience their local government. Much of what we do happens quietly and behind the scenes. We prepare agendas, we administer elections, we manage records, we staff meetings, we guide process. But the way we carry ourselves in these moments, especially when things are complex or tense, shapes that public trust. It shapes confidence. It shapes whether someone walks away feeling heard or frustrated. And those small interactions matter more than we sometimes realize. I believe this profession is complex. It's demanding and deeply important. Clerks carry tremendous responsibility, and much of our work depends on trust, accuracy, and having the right professional support. When clerks feel supported and connected, they're better equipped to show up with clarity, steadiness, and confidence in their own communities. I'm running for vice president because I believe deeply in this profession and in the people who serve in it. I believe strong organizations are built intentionally through clarity, transparency, and relationships rooted in respect. I believe leadership starts with listening, and I believe that leadership also requires consistency, showing up the same way on the hard days as on the easy days. If entrusted with this role, I will show up with steadiness, curiosity, and care. I will ask thoughtful questions. I will communicate clearly, and I will respect the process. And I will always keep the membership at the center of the work. I don't see this role as a platform. I see it as a responsibility to support the president and president-elect, to work collaboratively with the board and staff, and most importantly, to serve the membership with integrity. Thank you for the work that you do every day in your communities. It would be an honor to serve as your vice president. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina. And we're going to close this section out with Angela.
Angie Johnson, Clerk Treasurer for the town of Meeteetse in Wyoming. Thank you for this opportunity in making this forum happen. I really appreciate it. Friends, colleagues, and fellow clerks, when I think about this profession, I don't think about statutes or minutes or procedures. I think about the late nights, the emergency meetings, the elections that had to be perfect, the hard conversations, the relationship building, the residents who walked in worried and walked out reassured because you were there. We all are the steady hands of local government, and yet too often we carry that responsibility quietly. That's why IIMC matters. This is where we sharpen our skills. It's where we find our mentors. It's where we discover that the challenges we face in our towns, cities, and villages are shared, solvable, and together. Where I come from in Wyoming, we value grit and value humility, and we value neighbors helping neighbors. That's the spirit I will bring to this role. If elected as your vice president, I will focus on 3 things. First, membership support. Every decision should ask one question: how does this serve our members? From new clerks just starting out to seasoned professional navigating complex governance issues, you deserve practical, accessible support. Second, meaningful professional development. Technology, cybersecurity, AI, transparency, some of the technology things. They're not slowing down. We must provide training that prepares clerks to lead confidently and not react defensively. Third, connection. No clerk should feel alone, not in a rural community of 300 like mine, or in a city of 300,000 or larger. Mentorship, regional collaboration, and inclusive leadership must remain our priority. This isn't about a position. It's about stewardship of our profession, the profession that we love. Even though when we started out, we didn't really know what we were doing or what the job entailed. I often would say when I go to the Wyoming conference as a young clerk, I'm not a clerk, because really, by nature, I was a biologist, but I learned how to do all this stuff. And really, it has made me a better person, a better professional. And I tell you, I will serve from the bottom of my heart, and I will do everything that I can, because that's what I do. I'm a public servant, and I really do love that. I value helping others, and I value everything that I can give. Let's link arms. Let's move forward. Let's serve our members well. Thank you for your trust. Thank you all for your dedication in being a clerk.
Thank you, Angela. We appreciate all of you with this forum. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I hope the 2 forums were informative and gave you an opportunity to get to know our candidates better. Both forums will be on the IIMC website to watch again or for the first time for those who were not able to join us live. I'd personally like to thank our candidates for the time and energy that they put into investing in their answers. I believe that each gave insightful answers that will help the membership to make informed voting decisions. I'd also like to thank the election committee for their commitment to IIMC and the election process. Our members include myself, Toya Howell, Karen Frawley, Shelley George, Jeanette Goodall, Beth Hickman, Stephanie Kelly, Sandra McCready, Bruce Poole, Mark Donahue, Sherry Gard, Janet Pantalone, and Chris Shelby. Each cared deeply that the process is above reproach and open, giving the membership opportunities to vote with care. I'd also like to thank Chris Shelby for his commitment to IIMC in all areas and for always being only a phone call or an email away. His dedication ensures that we all stay on track and helps to lead us when we have questions or we need help. I'll end by thanking Karen Lee, our tech guru, who was the magic behind the screen. Karen took the time to ensure that the mechanics were working and that we all knew what we were doing from the beginning to the end of the process. Again, thank you all for joining us, and please remember to vote sometime between March 2nd and the 9th. Watch for that ballot in your email e-box. Thank you again.